Welcome to the 100th day of school. Hi friends! Now it's called Beat the Teacher because the purpose is for the students to get a number higher than the teacher. So this is the passage right here. So we unwrapped the prompt or broke it down. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariely Sanchez and I'm a 4th grade teacher in South Florida. Welcome to the 100th day of school. That's right, today is the 100th day of school and I'm coming to you during my planning time. Got to pick up the kids right now in 1 minute, but I wanted to show you a really cool activity that we're doing to end our 100th day of school with. This is an activity, I'm not going to pick it up right now because I need to finish this. This is an activity that I got from TPT and I'll link it down below. I also added one more activity in the same format because I needed one more group so I can have 6 groups of 4 since I have 24 students. But I wanted to quickly show you what the activities are so that you can see what the students are going to be engaged with. We literally have 1 more hour left of school and this is what the students will be working with. The students will be placed in random groups of 4. They're not going to rotate. So whichever station the kids end up with, that's the one they're going to work with for the end of the day. So basically they're going to get 100 cups. I have to take 20 out of one of these packs to complete the other for 100. I also have to make sure there's 100 playing cards here. So I have to take 2 from each and combined so that they have 100 cards. They have 100 paper clips here. And this is the sheet. All the stations have the same sheet. What changes is the clip art pretty much. They're going to talk about the materials they use, their reasoning for their design, and how they kept the structure from falling. They're going to create a blueprint before they start. And then they have an extra challenge that they can do in the back. It's the same extra challenge for all the different stations. So I have 100 paper clip structure, and that's a recording sheet. 100 plastic cup structure. They're going to use 100 Lego bricks maze. And they have a marble ball in there somewhere. There it is, with a base plate. And this is the extra station that I created. She didn't have the brick one with the Lego mazes, but I created this one so I can have a 6th station. And these keep falling and I'm rushing. 100 domino structure and 100 straw structure. This one needs 2 feet of masking tape that they're gonna use in order to build their structure. And yeah, these are STEM challenges that we're going to do for today's 100th day of school. All right, I literally have to dash right now. But anyway, let me go get the kids, get this started, and hopefully I can get some clips of the students working on these STEM projects. Hello everyone. So now it's the end of the day and the students had a really great time trying to figure out the challenge for each of those 100-day projects for STEM. And by the way, I am wearing my STEM shirt from the blue envelope, which is now I think is to be enough. And this is the shirt right here. So STEM, but it has different words on each letter that represent science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And that's what STEM stands for. I do have to say that I wanted to see how the students went ahead with these projects without much guidance. I wanted to see if they were able to think creatively and critically in order to kind of build their structure, whatever the challenge asked them to do. In retrospect, they do need a little bit more guidance. So I know that I've heard from other teachers that do STEM, it's not just great to just tell the students, here, go ahead and build this. You have to give them prior knowledge and build up that background, that scientific fact. So I know for a lot of these projects, it was important for them to learn about the different structures, like bridge structure. How do you build a good foundation in order to make sure that you have a tall structure that can withstand height and things like that. So it's just something to consider for the future. But today it was just for the 100th day of school and for them to have fun doing that. All right, so let's talk about the day. This morning I came in a little late because I had an important meeting to attend to at the high school for my son. So I got to the classroom like around 10. The students were being watched by another fellow teacher, and I left them some assignments that I talked about in my last vlog that I was leaving behind for them to do. Now, with the I'm done, what do I do next choice board, I noticed that some of them chose to do the dear time, drop everything and read, and only do that. And I kind of mentioned to them that the point was for them to do a couple of activities, not just one activity. So in the future, reading at your seat will be an option that they can do outside of that choice board. And on the choice board, I'm going to create one myself. I'm going to make sure that that is not one of the options. There's another option that has them maybe write or draw or create something related to what we're learning in class. So that's just some reflection time right there. So when I came in the morning, the students went ahead and we together read the Gettysburg Address, which is a very famous speech by Abraham Lincoln, and we broke the speech down and we connected it to the main selection, which was Abe's Honest Words, which was a biography about Abraham Lincoln. So tomorrow the students are going to take their assessment on that unit, and then we can go ahead and move on to the next unit. We're also going to start focusing a little bit more, no, a lot more, on writing starting this week because we're in crunch time right now. And we haven't done a lot of it since we came back from break, so we got to get back into it and refresh the minds of the students so that they know how to build their essays. So let me give you a quick glimpse as to the Gettysburg Address that we were reading this morning. So this is the actual Gettysburg Address that was in our Wonders anthology, and we had a little bit of a secondhand account over here since we're focusing on first-hand account and second-hand account. And we then had the first-hand account here, which are Abe's actual words from his Gettysburg Address, and we really broke it down and had a really good discussion about it. Now for social studies, what we did when we came back from lunch was we were working on designing a new Florida seal for the state of Florida. So I presented students this PowerPoint that I talked about last year in my channel. It is basically a PowerPoint going over the Florida state seal, how it looks like and the different elements of it, and a little bit of facts from our seal, how it's used, and the design of the seal and what is found within the seal. So all of these things are here. This is a PowerPoint that I put together myself. And then I gave them some ideas that they can include in their design because they received the sheet, and on the sheet they're going to make sure they put Great Seal of the State of Florida and the motto, "In God We Trust." And then in the middle circle, they're going to design the new seal. Now, the directions say for them to use 3 of the original designs and then choose 3 of their own designs. But again, those designs need to reflect Florida and say something about our state. So if I were to look at it, I would be like, oh yeah, that is our state. Once they're done designing their seal, they're going to get an index card and they're going to write an informative paragraph explaining their design and why they chose to use those symbols to represent our state. Then after our social studies time was math time. So we went over how to add fractional parts of decimals. So using like 6/10 plus 52 hundredths. And making sure we change the 6/10 into 60 hundredths so we can then add the rest of the fraction up, because I'm reminding the students what we learned in chapter 7. You cannot add fractions or subtract fractions unless they have the same denominator. So we were working on that. They were practicing that. They got assigned their homework. Tomorrow we're working on comparing decimals, and then that'll be a wrap for chapter 9. They'll take their test on Wednesday, and then we can get started with chapter 10. So that's basically what we ended up doing today. And then you saw at the end of the day that we're doing the STEM activities during science, and writing was scheduled for this morning when I wasn't here. So tomorrow we're definitely diving into that writing once the students finish their reading test. So yeah, that was our Monday, 100th day of school. And now we're going to move on to Tuesday. Oh, and one more thing before I move us on to Tuesday. I just got my new Fitbit Versa 2 smartwatch. It looks a lot like an Apple Watch, but it's not, and it's cheaper. Amazon just had this for a limited time for $149 instead of the usual price of $200, $199. And check this out. It has Amazon Alexa built into it, which is very, very cool. I'm looking forward to using it. I do have my charge too, which let's see how many steps we have. That's not bad. I only have 1,000 steps to go for my active goal for today for my step bet challenge, but I'm really looking forward to using this one. And I'm pretty sure you can tell I am in love with rose gold. My phone case is rose gold. My phone, my actual iPhone, is rose gold, even though Apple now calls it just gold. And my new AirPods case is also rose gold. So loving this and can't wait to start using it, hopefully tomorrow. Now let's move on to Tuesday. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday. And I have to stop right now and say happy birthday to my dad. Today he turns 72, and we're taking him to dinner tonight. So I wanted to start my day like that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to having a great day with the students. It all starts right now when I open the door and welcome them inside, and we get our day started. And I can't wait to share what we end up doing today. So without further ado, let me get our day started, and I'll see you later. We interrupt our morning schedule to bring you this awesome box that some of my students from previous years have brought. And I have to use some kind of fishnet, okay, to fish out a compliment, I guess. Let's see. Okay, I gotta mix it around, and let's see what we get. Oh, I have more than one?
Yeah, just pick one, yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow, I got like 4 in there. Okay, now I have to let's see which one will be good for me. All right, let's see what we get.
It's a lightning bolt.
Oh, I got a lightning bolt because I'm a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
And I'm also lightning. Love it. Thank you, girls.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Actually, I should do it from the other side. Change of scenery. Hello, everyone. It's now the end of the day, so let me quickly tell you how our day progressed. So this morning, as soon as the kids came in, we were reviewing our chapter 9 on decimals and fractions and knowing how to compare decimals and how to change fractions into decimals and decimals into fractions, all that jazz. So we did that. Then the kids went to specials. After specials and lunch, we had our recess. And after recess, they were working on their Florida State seal that I talked to you about yesterday. I have a couple of students already finished, so I want to give you a quick glimpse on how they have designed their seal so far. And then, of course, the rest of the students that haven't finished will have Ketchup and Pickles time on Friday to finish that assignment. So let me show you the examples. So check it out. We have here the orange tree with the mockingbird, the Florida panther. Those are her 3 new additions. And then the 3 original designs are the sun, the sable palm, and the hibiscus flowers, which of course come in different colors. And then here is the paragraph that explains her design and what it includes and why she included it. Here's another one. So I'm just going to go through these. Ooh, cruise ship. I was thinking about that too, because Miami in particular is known as the cruise ship capital of the world. So that's really cool. And here's another one. And of course, the bottlenose dolphin is one of our state symbols as well. And, oh, is this one upside down? I think this one is upside down, and they put their index. Oh, okay, cool. They put the index card up here, and it's this way. That's a cool way of doing it as well. We could do it this way, or we can do it this way. And just to let you know, I am letting the students choose the color of the index card. I have like 5 different options for them to choose. And yeah, I can't wait to put these up in our social studies bulletin board to showcase the students' work. That's pretty much what we did for social studies. And after that, it was some reading time, and they were working on their Wonders assessment, which took up most of the time. So then that was the end of our day. We didn't have time for science today because of the Wonders assessment and the kids needing more time to do that. In particular, question number 11 asked the students to look at the 2 passages that they had to read for that particular task and do a short written response. And in this case, they were talking about point of view. So they were talking, well, let me show you what the question says. So the question reads, what is similar about the author's point of view in hybrid or electric and nuclear power? The key to the future. What reasons do the authors use to convince the reader to make a change? Support your answer with details from both texts. So students usually have a hard time answering this question because they sometimes don't know how to address it or what parts to include. So for this particular test, I decided to give them a content frame on the board to kind of frame their thinking and make sure that they include all the parts that they need in order to answer that reading question. So let me show you the content frame that I included. I say content frame, but it's like paragraph frame that I included on the board for them to use as a guide. Here it is. I basically told the students to use it as a guide, and they can obviously change the words and how I wrote it. But it says the similarity between the author's points of view in both articles is that they both, so they address that first question and then they go into addressing the second question, which goes into each individual passage. In hybrid or electric, the author uses to convince the reader to make a change in and use blah, blah, blah instead. In nuclear power, the author uses to convince the reader to blah, 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 blah. So that pretty much helps the students kind of understand what I'm looking for. And some of them already know that they have to revise their answer. This is a 4-point answer. It is not an essay. It's just written as a paragraph, and they need to make sure they address each part of the question and use text evidence to support their answer. So that's basically where we are. And in a few minutes, Ms. Guzman is going to come on video with us to give you a little update on how she's doing, since some of you have been wondering how she's doing and if she's still at our school. She is. She's still in my team, in my 4th grade team with her own class. So we'll get to sit down and chat with her a little bit in a few minutes. Hi, friends.
Hi.
Here she is. So, how's it been going?
Interesting. Interesting. It's been, that's really the word, overwhelming, interesting, stressful. I've learned a lot. Overwhelming, stressful. Did I say that already?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
But it's,
Okay.
I've been there too. I've been there too. First year is hard.
Yeah.
First year is hard and it's challenging, but here's what's most important. Do you have a support system?
Yes.
Do you have people that you can come to? Not just me.
I know. No,
Do you have people?
All
Yeah.
the teachers and all the 4th graders especially have been amazing.
Yeah,
Fourth
she's
grade
not
teachers.
alone. And she also has another teacher in 3rd grade that teaches the same kind of students as she does, that kind of helps her with, what she needs to cover as far as the curriculum goes. So, and she knows who to come to, but it doesn't stop the fact that she has 24 students in a classroom with students that need additional reading. So they have a whole extra 90 minutes in reading. So, yeah,
Yes.
You're doing it.
I'm doing it. Am I really?
Yeah.
Doing it?
Yes,
Okay.
you're doing it.
Okay.
You're doing
Sometimes it doesn't feel like I'm doing.
She's doing it.
You know. But
Girl,
I
are you
don't know.
showing up for those kids?
I
Are
am.
you teaching those lessons?
I am.
Are you doing what they need in order to understand?
I try.
Then you're doing it.
I try.
You're doing it.
Okay.
You're doing it. It's like that.
my
I
God.
read somewhere like when new moms, are so worried about if they're doing a good job as a new mom, and the questions they ask them is like, is the baby fed? Is the baby clean? Is the baby healthy? Are you eating? Are you resting? Okay, then you're doing your job.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, it's difficult, and we're in crunch time right now, so everything's starting to get to that test date. I know we don't like to talk about it, but it's reality. Our first test comes in like 2 months. In April 2nd is the writing test, the tentative date for now. And that's right after spring break. And then a month after that is our reading test, and then a week after that is our math test.
Yeah.
So we're trying desperately to do everything that we need to do. But you're not alone and feeling stressed out and
No.
trying to see if you're doing enough, because I feel the same way.
I have gone through a lot, and I have learned so much from August to now. I am not the same person August 19th when school started that I am now.
Well, we don't
It
want
is-
you to be, because,
it is-
you grow from your
I've
experiences.
learned so much, the good and the bad.
And
And
the-
then also all the other things that you don't think you'll learn, like things about like how to deal with nosebleeds, how to deal with kids throwing up in the middle of the hallway, how things you don't really think about.
all the different hats that we wear as teachers. We're a whole bunch of different things.
Interesting days. Not every day is the same.
That is so true. That is so true.
You walk in and you don't know what's gonna happen, and you walk out and with hopes that the next day is gonna be better.
How do you feel that fact that we only have less than 78 days left of school?
That's great. I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, less than 78 days
That's great.
left of school. We just had our 100th day 2 days ago, or actually, no, yesterday. I'm sorry, I keep losing my days.
Oh my
And yeah, in about 2 months is our spring break.
gosh. Okay.
And then after that, we are teaching until the end of the school year. We end earlier this year. We end on June 3rd is the last day.
Yay.
So my arm's starting to
looking
get
forward
tired.
to it.
No. I should try to prop this up. I forgot my tripod, and my arm muscles are like, I'm giving up. I'm gonna let it down. Oh, okay. Ooh. Well. Oh, this.
There, hold on. Hi.
Like that. Oh.
Okay.
Hi.
Get a little like.
Hello.
But
we're sharing.
yeah, I don't want school to end for like the wrong reasons, like for the
No.
kids, not being,
We just work
great.
so hard.
It's not because of that. It's because it's hard.
We work so hard that, mentally, emotionally, we get drained, which is why self-care is also important. So, yeah, just trying to do our best. And she's here. She's alive.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's like step one, survive.
Her kids are
Step
alive?
one.
No, just
Survive. I think I've done that part well.
no, but, we're good. Let me see if I can. My arm has rested a little bit.
Okay.
But, yeah, we're rolling. And she has the support that she needs. And there's just the realities that come with the job. And there's a lot of things that they don't prepare you for from college and university. That it just comes from life experience. And yeah, that's why she says, she's not the same person that she was in the beginning. And that's true because you learn so many things. And even now I'm in my, 19th year of teaching, soon to be 20. And yeah, it's crazy.
Even the simplest things I've had to really think about, like lesson planning or like I plan my planning time. Because I have to.
But that's good.
I'm trying to stay organized, and that's hard to stay organized. Oh my gosh!
And now we're gonna switch. No, does this arm work? I don't know. We're trying different things here.
Okay.
Because I am so sad that I left my tripod in the car.
Oh.
It's okay. We might not be in the shot right now, but we're managing. It's,
I
adapting.
think it's cool that I'm getting to the. I was telling her earlier that I was appreciating the part that I'm getting to the point where I was last year when I met her, and I'm like, yes, I finally have something to reference to.
Yes.
Because all this time it's been creating lessons, thinking, planning this, but now it's like, oh, I did that with Miss Sanchez last year.
Now she's coming to the part where when she took over my classroom last year, it was the same units and lessons. So her brain is like, oh, I've done this before. We good.
It's awesome. It's a feeling I haven't had for 6 months now.
For the first half of the year. So welcome.
Yes.
We've been waiting.
Feels good.
We've been expecting you. So you're here. You have arrived. But yeah, it just goes with it. So now she can start using some of the things that she created last year while she was teaching my kids and tweak it for her kids. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. And that's where we are right now.
Yeah. I'm excited.
It's a little update with Miss Guzman.
Yay.
And we're happy to have her here and part of the family. So
Thank you.
yay. I look back at our videos from last year. I'm like, oh my God, that was our first video of reflection time with Miss Guzman. And now look at us a year later.
Yeah. It's nice.
It is nice. It's nice
to see the difference.
Yeah, and reflect and grow.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm getting ready to start packing up and going. Because like I mentioned earlier, it's my daddy's birthday, and we're all going to take him out to dinner. So we're very excited. All right, thank you, Miss Guzman.
Oh, wait. Nice to talk to you guys again.
Yes, and this will not be the last time. We'll have her come from time to time as our time allows. Yes. Because sometimes we just get stuck in our classrooms and we don't get out.
No, it was honestly, I've been extremely, extremely busy, figuring things out still, and making copies at the last minute for the next day. I sometimes I walk out at 3:20 and I'm like, oh wait, I have to do that tomorrow, and I don't have copies, and then I have to go back, and then I don't get out of here an hour later. It's just,
happens
that's
to everyone.
happened a lot. So it's
okay,
just,
adjusting and learning and growing, but you're doing it.
I'm doing it.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Until next time, this has been an update with
Miss Guzman.
Yeah. All right, friends. So I'm going to gather my things and get going so I can have this awesome dinner with my dad tonight. I was going to show you the White House project that I assigned to the students today, which is due in 2 weeks from today. I will give you some more details about it. Last year, I had my students do the same thing. And I think this year I'm going to make an example for myself, like if I was a student doing it, so that I can also show it on this video and you can get an idea. This is an idea that I got from another fellow team member that used to do it or still does it with her students. So I've tweaked it a little bit this year. And yeah, I need to make an example so the kids have an idea of what a completed project looks like. And yeah, and I wanted to share with you something that I got from Amazon yesterday, which is a new presenter clicker. You know, when I have the PowerPoints, I can be anywhere in the room changing the slides. I got a new one to replace my old one because it was lagging. But then I noticed that the new one that I got, same brand, was kind of lagging. I mean, it was working better, but it was still lagging a little bit. So yesterday I got on Amazon and I saw another presenter clicker, a different brand, and it was a lightning sale. Instead of $29, it was $21. So I got it and it works amazing. Plus it's rechargeable and I don't need to buy batteries for it. So I will share with you what that is tomorrow because I got to get my things and get going. So let's move on to Wednesday.
That's my hello. Because I'm an angel. I'm an angel.
Check. And me and Tio. Hola, Tio. Say hola. Hola. Oh, you got some on your shirt. Mom, oh my God. Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, and last night we had a great time with the family celebrating my dad's birthday. And this morning, I am ready to start the day with my students. It is hump day, halfway through the weekday, and yeah, that much closer to the weekend. But also, it's another day to have a great time with the students learning in the classroom. So I wanted to show you more about the project that I talked about briefly yesterday before I left. The social studies project is a White House project, and let me show you how that looks. So I took a big 12 by 18 piece of construction paper and I folded it in half like a booklet. And this is the actual construction paper the students will use to put their project on. And these are the project guidelines. So on the cover page, so if I close it, I told the students to use it this way. So the paper opens up going up like this. So this will be the cover. And on the cover, they need to have a picture of the White House printed or drawn with an insert of a picture of them. They also need to include the title, White House Project, and they need to add their name to the lower right-hand corner. So that is how their cover is going to look. I told them to be as creative as they want to be. And then when they open up their construction paper, on the top side, they're going to do the map of the White House, and they label as many rooms as they can. For example, the green room, the state room, etc. I showed them a couple of websites that they can just literally print the map out and just paste it on here. And it doesn't have to be all the maps of the White House, but at least 3. And I told them that some students in the past have gathered them all together and maybe taped them on the side so that they can flip through and see the maps or flip up. So that was an option. And then here at the bottom, this will be the second page. And they need to make sure they answer all of these questions in complete sentences. So they have to do a little bit of a research to find out who was the first president to live in the White House, which president had a grizzly bear cub living in the White House, etc. There's a total of 15 questions that they need to answer in complete sentences. I told them they don't need to rewrite the questions as long as they write the answer in a complete sentence. For example, for number 8, what were the 2 other names of the White House before this became its official name? So the sentence could start, the other 2 official names of the White House before it was called the White House were blah and blah. So basically I told them to number them and just write it in complete sentences. Then on the back, which is all the way here in the back, opposite of the cover page, They need to go ahead and write 3 detailed, elaborate paragraphs, typed or written in their best handwriting. The first paragraph, they need to have a topic sentence followed by details and elaboration that explain whether they would like or not like to live in the White House as the first kid, and make sure they provide details and elaboration to support their opinion. And then the second paragraph, they need to explain the pros of living in the White House as a first kid and the cons for the third paragraph of living in the White House. And then in the third paragraph, they need to make sure they include a closing sentence to close out all 3 paragraphs. Basically is them living in the White House as the first kid, whether they want to or not. So that is pretty much their White House project that they are going to work on for the next 2 weeks. Is due the day after President's Day, and then they get to present it. This project is worth 3 grades, 1 social studies grade, 1 language arts grade, and a listening and speaking grade because they need to present it. But that's a fun project. It shouldn't be too difficult for them, and 2 weeks is plenty of time since I don't assign a lot of homework. All right, so it's time to let the kids in, and I will let you know more about the little presentation clicker or presenter clicker that I mentioned yesterday. I want to let you know my thoughts of the ones that I've purchased, and so far which one I feel it's my new favorite. All right, so see you later. We've now made it to the end of the day, and I will let you know what the highlights of our day is right after I get back from this faculty meeting that we're going to right now. But it was a pretty good day. I just have to remind myself that Wednesdays is a short day and there's not a lot of time for things. We didn't get to our science quiz at the end of the day because the students needed more time to complete their math test. And in reading, we started a new unit on genetically modified foods because we're looking at persuasive texts and advantages and disadvantages from a particular topic. So that was a really good lesson in itself. But when I get back from the faculty meeting, I'll let you know of a fun game that I played with the students before they took their math test. And it is a redo of Beat the Teacher, which I did earlier this year with place value. At the beginning of the year, we did it with regular place value from the ones to millions, but this one used decimal place value from ones to thousands. So I'll let you know, and I need to tweak my form. I created a sheet for it, and the students want a rematch, even though they beat me. I never beat them. I'll go over the rules of the game also when I get back. All right, so let me go to the faculty meeting, and I'll see you soon. We just finished the faculty meeting, and I just had to do this because, you know, we just had an update with her yesterday. But I don't know if you remember in an earlier video, I said that she won the Rookie Teacher of the Year. And today, she was presented with this beautiful bag and her prizes and treats. Come on, you got to show them what's in the bag.
Okay.
Because there's one little special
I haven't
thing.
even seen it yet. So we're seeing it together. I was super, she kind of previewed the gifts before she gave it to us. And it's a pink box. Pink
with
is my
money.
favorite color. It has money.
Money.
Oh.
She said it was a money box. You didn't even pay attention.
No, because I was paying attention. She was so sweet. And I was saying I missed that part because she was saying so many sweet things. I missed that part.
Yeah, that's money.
But yeah. Oh.
Yes.
That's nice.
Congratulations.
To know. Thank you. Wow. Okay. And then. Yeah, and then it has this pretty
it's
confetti
so pretty.
stuff
Look.
with like a pretty flower.
Oh, wow. I like
and
the
it has
flower
my
detail.
name. Yes.
Such cute details. I love it.
I'll open it later.
I love it.
And then, I was not expecting this, by the way. Like,
I know, it's so
I
sweet.
was very, very surprised. And then I got a tiara.
Yes, and she has to wear it tomorrow.
Yes.
And I'll try to remember to put her in the vlog with it on. You have to wear it tomorrow.
I will.
Because she said so many nice things
she
about how
said-
we should wear the crown. Yeah, you guys should wear the crown.
Yes.
But I don't. Now I want to get one for myself just to wear it around my classroom.
And it's supposed to, you know, I'll take it out later. But it's supposed to, we're supposed to wear it so to show, like, especially when we're going through hard times, which is a lot when you're teaching, that it's supposed to remind you of that you are valuable part of the school. Aww. And all of these wonderful other things that she said that
so
just
beautiful.
stays in your heart forever.
I know, because she's so sweet.
She's so sweet. But yeah.
Oh, yay! I'm so happy.
Appreciated and happy, and
Yes.
she made our days for you.
And I'm so happy for her. I literally couldn't stop gushing. Because I'm like, yesterday we were talking about all the challenges, but within all those challenges, you get rewarded.
I know. I'm very happy.
It's like, I don't know. Like, that's a kiss from God. There you go.
It is.
There you go.
It is.
So I just had to share that. And yeah, maybe you'll enjoy this little thing too, because it's nice to be able to celebrate these moments with her.
Yeah.
Because
And see,
we've
like,
grown so much.
I know.
It's been
such
1
a different
year.
story from last year.
It is, but it's so much
But
fun.
it's good. It's good.
So much fun. Yay. And we're back in my classroom. So basically the person that we were talking about just now that she kept saying that's our PTA president. She is the sweetest, and the PTA at our school does that with the teacher of the year, the rookie teacher of the year, the staff person of the year, etc. So they all got their little goodie bags with their treats, and I'm very happy for all of them. So what I wanted to show you was the Beat the Teacher like I talked to you about earlier, and let me show you how that looks. So this is a game that I learned about earlier in the school year from just looking through Pinterest for math games and stuff to do with the kids. And all you need for this, you don't even need this sheet that I created. You just need a regular sheet of paper and have the students make some columns and rows so that they can then build their number. And you as a teacher will have a pack of cards. And I basically took out all the face cards and I took out the tens. The tens used to represent 0. But the kids this time around, they just wanted me to take them out all together. And if you get an ace in your stack, the ace counts as the number 1 or the digit 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to tell the kids that they're going to build a number using the digits that come out of the cards. So they have to decide which place value they're going to put that digit under. In our case, we're doing from ones to thousands. So they have to decide whatever card they have, where they're going to put it. Now for our first round, the number 9 came out first, so all of us pretty much put it in the ones place. And then as the cards kept coming out, we started building the number. Now it's called Beat the Teacher because the purpose is for the students to get a number higher than the teacher. Now if they get a number that's the same as the teacher, they get 1 point, the teacher gets 0. If they get a number that is higher than the teacher, they get 5 points. And if they get a number that's lower than the teacher, they don't get any points. The teacher, however, if the teacher ever, because I have not been able to beat the students, they've always beaten me, but if I were to get a number that is higher than anybody in the class, I as a teacher get 20 points. They love this game so much. In this time around, I went ahead and I put the little place value chart for them to fill out their numbers and then put my number, and then they had to compare those two numbers by doing less than, equal, or greater than. And this is where they got more than me. And the class for these two pretty much got the same as me, most of them. And as you can see, these are my 0 points. Now, I'm going to tweak this a little bit because they do want a rematch. What a rematch. They won, but they want to do it again. So I'm going to tweak it a little bit. So we have a column over here or maybe down here somewhere where they can put the points that they get from each round. And then they can total up the points to see how many points in total they get. But that's all you need. You just need a deck of playing cards. Take out all the face cards, take out the jokers. You can choose to leave the tens if you want, and the tens can count as zeros, and the aces count as ones. I just took out the tens this time around. But we did do this game at the beginning of the year, and we went all the way from the ones place to the millions, and it was a lot of fun for the kids. I didn't win then either, but they absolutely love this game, and they've been asking me to bring it back, and I said, why not this time around? And it was a surprise for them, because we've been doing decimal place value, so it was a really good idea to do. Oh, and I just wanted to mention one more thing. I didn't show them as the cards are being shown because I had them projected on the board right there. As the cards are being shown, I didn't show them my paper, even though I had the paper. I didn't put the number there. I put the number on an index card to the side, so they didn't see where I was placing my digits as I pulled out the cards. So I just wanted to say that as well. All right, the other little thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the presentation clickers that I hinted at this morning. So I thought the best way to show you was to demonstrate how each of these clickers work so you can kind of get an idea. But this is my old clicker. It's by Logitech. I really love Logitech. They haven't really let me down, well, until this time. So I've had this clicker for a couple of years now. I want to say maybe more than 5. So I went ahead and I bought a new one because this one wasn't really clicking everywhere in the classroom. If I went all the way to the classroom door, which was kind of far at the opposite end from where I have my computer and it's placed there, the receiver, because this little thing is what you hook up to the computer, it wasn't really registering me wanting to advance the slide. So I bought a new one, the same brand. So let me put this in because I want to demonstrate to you how they work. But I bought a brand new one from Logitech, and it comes with batteries, so you don't even have to buy batteries. And I gave it a try. but it's working a little better than the old one, but it still had a little lag. So I went back on Amazon and I ended up buying this one, which was cheaper than this. And I got it as a lightning deal. And basically it was like $21 or something like that. This is the brand and it's called the Wireless Presenter. And this one doesn't need batteries at all because it's rechargeable. You just plug it into your USB and you plug it in here on the side and it charges. And it has a little pen holder so you can like put it on your pocket or hang it from somewhere, I don't know. But also both of these have laser pointers, as you can see. Let me see, I'm gonna turn this on first. So they both have laser pointers. This one has a red one and this one has a green one that's brighter and bigger. The kids actually like the green one, and this one, even though it's cheaper and it's a different brand that I haven't tried, it works a little better. So let me show you what I mean. So on the board, I have our Florida State Seal presentation that I talked about earlier this week, and I'm standing like halfway in the room. So I'm gonna use the Logitech one, and basically the Logitech one has a button right here that when you press it, it plays the show. So I'm pressing it right now. It's not playing the show. Let's see if I point it this way. See how it's like, it's laggy. Doesn't let me play the show. But if I take this one you just have to hold the up button for 2 seconds and it starts playing the show. So let me go back to Logitech. And now this button advances the slides. See, I'm pressing it and now it's working, but it's kind of laggy. See, I'm going back and now it's not working. So it's kind of laggy. See, I'm pressing and it's not working. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the computer or it's just the clicker itself. But with the new one, if I press down, it advances the slide. See? Very seamless. And here is the laser. Very nice. And the laser for the Logitech one, it's red. And there it is. You can hardly see it there. Again, I'm just standing here in front of the room, in the middle part of the room, but the green one, you can see a lot better. Now, the other thing that I noticed with this one is that it has a tab button. So this button tabs, and I don't know if you notice, right there, that first picture of the Florida Panther has a border around it. And that allows me, if I were to double click on that tab button, it opens a hyperlink that I placed on that particular picture. So there's a hyperlink that I put for the Florida Panther. So this one, my friends, if you want a good presentation clicker, this one doesn't need batteries. It's rechargeable. It works better than the Logitech one. I'm gonna go back to the only thing is that when you do have those hyperlinks, you have to come back to the board and press the presentation again for it to come back to where it was. But yeah, this is much better than the other one. And now let me stand by the door. So I'm standing by the door and basically here's the Logitech. I'm trying to go to the, okay, so here it's doing it. We're advancing and now we're not going back. Okay, for some reason it doesn't want to go back. Oh, there we go. So again, it works, but it's a little laggy. But if I use this one by Dusel, I think the brand is very seamless. So I can literally stand anywhere in the classroom and I can just go through my slideshow. The students can go through their slideshow as they're presenting. So I really love this one the best. And if you're interested in getting one of these for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Just let you know, it will be an affiliate link that doesn't cost anything extra to you. It's just that I get pennies if you do use my link to make a purchase of that. And I'll also include it in my Amazon store under my classroom favorites. All right, so that's all I have for you for today, Wednesday. Now we're gonna move us on to Thursday. Hello everyone and welcome to Thursday. So I'm coming to you at the end of the day to let you know what we ended up doing as the highlights for today. This morning we ended up having to do our iReady growth check. The whole school does it. It's not just particular students. Our principal has the entire school do it and we have until tomorrow to do it. So we had our cart this morning and I just had all the students, as soon as they came in, they got laptops and they started working on their growth check for both reading and math. I had half of the class finish reading and half of the class finish math. So tomorrow we're going to do that as well to make sure that they get that growth check done. And I am having individual data chats as soon as the students are done with both reading and math so that we can look at their scale scores and look at maybe areas that they need to make sure they focus on and their areas of strength as well. So then after that, they went to art, lunch, and then after lunch, we ended up reviewing our states of matter, and the students took their science quiz for the properties of matter and the states of matter. And that means that it was then math time, which we introduced chapter 10. And in order to introduce chapter 10, not only did we do the show what you know, which is the introduction to chapter 10, but I also ended up reading a nice little story that you may all be familiar with. So let me show you what that story was. And that is The Greedy Triangle by Marilyn Burns, illustrated by Gordon Silveria. And I love this book. It's really cute. You can also teach reading skill with it, which is theme. What is the theme of the story? But basically, the triangle loves doing all the things that triangles do. And its favorite thing is to be right here when the people put their arms under hips. It makes a triangle, and he can listen to all the latest gossip, which then he shares the stories with his friends. But then one day, he gets kind of tired of doing the regular triangle life. He becomes dissatisfied, so he goes to the shapeshifter, and he says that if he had one more side and one more angle, he knows he will be happier. So he becomes a quadrilateral. And there's all sorts of new things that the greedy triangle can do. It keeps on going, and basically there's a pattern. The triangle is not happy, and every time he goes back to the shapeshifter, getting one more side and one more angle until he doesn't really have friends anymore. But then at the end, he decides that, you know what? He wants to be a triangle again because that is when he really loved his life. So the moral of the story is just be happy with who you are. But I love it because it goes over all of these different kinds of polygons, and that's exactly what we were reviewing today in math. We were also going over point, line, ray, line segment, perpendicular, parallel, intersecting lines, right angle, straight angle, acute angle, obtuse angle. So I did my total physical response, and I did mirrors, which is a whole brain teaching strategy, and I had the students stand up, and we were doing that, which is something that I also did last year with my class. And yeah, that was our math time. We went over the first and third lesson because they kind of go together, so I grouped them together. And then tomorrow we're going to be looking at classifying quadrilaterals and then triangles. So yeah, that's what we did during math. And then it was time for reading. And in reading, we ended up going over our shared read again. We did a second reading for close reading. I had the students volunteer to read different parts of the passage, and then we discussed the author's point of view. We had some questions that I asked them that were higher order that they needed to use text evidence to support their answer. And then we dove right into a passage that is with this unit on is nuclear energy safe, which is we're looking at persuasive text and the author's point of view along with advantages and disadvantages on one particular topic. So as we were doing that, I had the students model the SPADE strategy for reading that we use and do their annotations so that by the time we were all done, they could easily answer the questions on the back. So let me show you that now. So this is the passage right here. Is nuclear energy safe? We started by surveying the text. We looked at our text features. We had subheadings, which had the students circle. We had a map with a caption, so we wrote that over here. And then I had them write a prediction. Of course, they continued theirs, and then we discussed. I had a couple students share out their predictions. Then we did the first read. I read the first paragraph, and then I had different students read as we went along. And as we read, I was annotating because I project this using our Elmo document camera onto the board, and that way I model for them this really great strategy of annotating as you read because you're interacting with the text and you're kind of showing your understanding. So after we read it and we did our annotations, which we put here, see text, we did our analysis, which we included the main idea. So nuclear energy can be beneficial but dangerous, so it needs to be handled carefully. And we also went over text structure, even though we did have some elements of compare and contrast.
since we're going over pros and cons. And there was some problems that they were listing. There weren't that many solutions. So the overall text structure, which what we all agreed with, was cause and effect, because we could find traces of cause and effect throughout the entire passage. So once we did all of that, it was time to then dissect the questions. And here we go. So we started with 1, key details. So we circled and underlined the information that we needed in order to answer. This is also key details question, and this is a point of view question. So I told the students to make sure they wrap their answer, and the prove is part of the E in SPADE, which is the evidence to support their answer. So for here, they needed to list the 3 benefits of nuclear energy. And it's good because while we were reading, I was showing them some shorthand, which is the pluses are all the benefits and the negatives are the minuses or the disadvantages. So, or potential problems in this case. So I kind of show them how to restate the question, then they need to answer it and show text evidence to support it. So that's what we ended up doing in reading today. I have a few students that still need to finish those questions because we ran out of time because it was time for social studies. So tomorrow we're going to have ketchup and pickles in the morning. It's going to be the first hour of the day. We're going to be making sure we finish all unfinished assignments from this week. And those students that are done will have special assignments to complete as well, along with maybe some study hall time. They do have that White House project that I mentioned, and I told them that if they wanted to use their time tomorrow, if they're done with everything, one of their pickles activities will be for them to work on that project. So giving them that time to do that. So in social studies, we started looking at the 3 branches of government, and I started the students out by creating a foldable. We're not completely done with that. We'll continue tomorrow, but so far, this is what we have. I gave the students a sheet of white construction paper. This one is a 9 by 12, and basically I had them folded vertically like so, and then open it up and just eyeball it, cutting it into thirds so that they have 3 flaps since we're doing a foldable. And then I had them draw a line over here. It's about 1 inch from the top, or what I call the rooftop, and then write nice and big using any kind of font they wanted to use, 3 branches of government. And then we ended by just naming them. So the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a little building or symbol that represents each branch. And then on the inside, we're going to talk about what it does and who is part of that branch. So that's what we've been working on in social studies. That pretty much wraps it up for today, Thursday, Friday Eve. And now we're ready for tomorrow, Friday, and see how we wrap up our week. So let's go ahead and move on to Friday. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Friday. We've made it, last day of the week. It's a really great day. I'm coming to you during our lunchtime. The students this morning, as soon as they came in, they had some ketchup and pickles time. And this is the slide that I have projected for them on the board. So these are the things that we needed to catch up on during the week, since these were assignments that we were working on this week and we need to finish most of them. And these were the pickles activities that I chose for the students to go ahead and complete and do. So lots of different choices for the students to partake in. So yeah, love me some ketchup and pickles time. It also gave me time to meet with a couple of students so I can give them some feedback on our math assessment and make sure they understood the concepts if they got any questions wrong, because I don't just want them to get the question wrong and then they just get it wrong and they don't understand why. So I met one-on-one with every student to go over that test. So right now I'm going to enjoy my lunch. The students just finished having specials this morning. They're at lunch right now. After lunch, we have some math time, then Spanish. We'll continue our math time. Then we'll have some reading and writing and social studies, and we'll end the day with some recess. So yeah, we decided to make that change in our schedule, make sure that we put our recess at the end of the day on Fridays so that they have that time there and it doesn't conflict with the Spanish teacher coming in and all sorts of things. All right, so yeah, very excited to let you know how the rest of our day goes. And right now I have some yummy food I gotta eat. So let me go ahead and do that right now. And we've made it to the end of the day. So I just wanna show you from the agenda on the board all the things that we accomplished today and give you a little preview of the writing that we were working on today that goes along with the new Wonders unit that we started this week that goes on to next week. As you saw from this morning when I talked to you, the students were working on ketchup and pickles. Then they went to PE, lunch, and after lunch, we worked on practicing lines, rays, and angles. And over here, I just went over the symbols that the students needed to understand. So this is the symbol for angle when they're describing angles. This is the symbol for line segment. So this is line segment AB. This is line AB and ray AB. This is the symbol for perpendicular lines and parallel lines. And then we went over classifying triangles. Now we were classifying triangles in the Go Math book according to their angles. So right triangle, obtuse triangle, and acute triangle. But the Go Math series doesn't include another standard in Florida standards for math, where the students also have to classify triangles according to the length of their sides. So we went over isosceles, scalene, and equilateral. To kind of remind the students about each of these, equilateral means equi, so it's equal. Lateral means side, so all sides are equal. Scalene, the way that I helped the students know about scalene was that we have the word scale, and I told them if we were all about to get on a scale, we'll probably all weigh different amounts. So with scalene triangles, all sides have different lengths, and with isosceles, we have two E's, so we have two sides that are equal. And that is how I'm kind of reminding the students what each of these things are. So we were classifying triangles by their angles and their sides. And then in reading, we were reading the main selection. They did the selection test. What's not included in here is they also did their vocabulary test. And then we did informative writing. We didn't have time to work on our social studies, foldable for branches of government. So we're moving that to Monday. So let me show you quickly what we did with informative writing. Each student got this sheet of paper, and it's basically the cover sheet. And eventually when they finish, I'll staple all the papers together. But on the back is the writing prompt that I wrote that goes with the unit. So it says, you have read multiple sources showing different types of advancements in science. Write an informative essay explaining an example of an advancement in science and how it can be beneficial to others. Use details from the sources to support your essay. So we unwrapped the prompt or broke it down by finding the APT, audience, purpose, task. And that's as easy as 1, 2, 3. So first we circle the essay keyword, which is informative. And if it's informative, our purpose is to inform. Then we underline the topic, which is explaining an example of an advancement in science and how it can be beneficial to others. So this is my topic, which is my task. And then we rewrite that as a question. What is an example of an advancement in science? How can it be beneficial to others? So then we ask, is this a one-part or a two-part prompt? And they're asking us to do two things, so this is a two-part prompt. And of course, if they don't tell us who we're writing to, automatically the audience is the teacher. So once we broke it down, we use that prompt to then guide our collection of evidence. Since we already read these two sources, Food Fight and A New Kind of Corn, this is the shared read and this is the main read. The students helped me come up with the labels for each of the rows. So of course we had two selections or two sources, so we labeled it here. And then based on the topic that we are responding to, we decided to label our rows as examples of advancements in science, the benefits, and then we elaborated on that. So the advancement in science that is mentioned in Food Fight is genetically modified foods. And these are all the benefits that we found in the article. And then we asked, so what? How is all this important? So that's the elaboration. Less people will worry about not having enough food. Plus there are the added benefits of curing illnesses like blindness, because that was one type of rice. Golden rice can prevent forms of blindness. So then A New Kind of Corn talked about genetically modified corn. So we looked at the benefits of that. And then we asked, well, so what? Why is all that important? Farmers don't need to worry about the corn not growing well or being destroyed by pests. Also, more food is available for people. So they're going to now use this information to develop their essay, which we're going to work part by part starting next week. They're going to get the 3 sheets of lined paper so they can write an introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion to address this prompt. So that is what we were working on in writing. So that pretty much wraps it up for this week, and I hope that you enjoyed coming along with me. So if you did, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought or any questions you may have. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I hope you have a beautiful, magical day, and don't forget to smile.
Hello dreamers, wishers, and magical thinkers. Thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video and for showing your support. If you'd like to subscribe, you can do so by clicking on my picture down here. You can also check out my latest videos here and here. Don't forget to believe in the magic that's inside you because you are capable of great things. See you next time.